so happy to see you all today. We are going to start working on a document called Scene Bootcamp. In order to get to this document, you'll go into today's folder, you'll click on Scene Bootcamp. That's going to take you to one of those blue Google Doc assignment pages where you're going to hit My Document and then the notebook piece of paper, and that'll open up this document into Google Docs for you. I'm going to take you to what that assignment looks like right now. Scene Bootcamp is essentially us practicing writing scenes that may or may not take place in our story. You can choose. What you're going to do is you're going to choose a location that your character would be, and then we're going to write a teeny tiny short little scene that would take place there. So for my example, remember that my character is a 14-year-old girl, so I tried to think about like where she would want to go, and I said Starbucks, so my character would be at a Starbucks. And then this next box asks you who are some characters that your character would be with in this place. So I said she would definitely be with her best friend, Erin, and then a barista would have to be there because they're going to order drinks. What are the characters doing there? So like why would your character be at this place? So in this scene, I'm going to do that my character is going to go to Starbucks after school, and they're going to learn about some drama that happened between my main character and her boyfriend. And then how does your character feel about this? So at the beginning of the scene, my character is really happy to be at Starbucks, but she becomes angry and upset when Erin tells her what happened at school today. So this is like my plan for my scenes. You're going to do three of these plans. So you're going to do scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3. So think about like where your character would be. Some ideas would be like a grocery store, school, college, sports practice. It could be in an individual class. Think about where your character would go and then who would be there with them. So think about your named characters that you have, what they would be doing there, and then what they would be feeling. For today's assignment, we're going to fill out this whole planning sheet. So we're going to come up with 3 of these scene plans. So you can use my example. This is all you have to write. Just short little things like my character is going to be at the grocery store. They're going to be at the grocery store with their mom. What would they be doing there? Shopping for food, talking to their mom about their day. How would they be feeling? They're annoyed. They don't want to be at the grocery store. Okay, you're going to do that 3 times. Once you do that, you're going to type your first scene today. This is the example that goes with this first example up here. So in this example, this is when my main character, Megan, a 14-year-old girl, goes to Starbucks with her friend Erin, and they talk about some drama that happened between Megan and Megan's boyfriend, TJ. So you might see this and you might think, Miss Bennell, that looks really weird how you have that formatted. When we type dialogue, which is when people are talking, that goes in quotes and it gets tabbed over, meaning that it's pushed in so our brain can tell that somebody's talking. All right, so I'm going to read through my scene with you. When Megan opened the door of the Starbucks, she was bombarded with the smell of coffee. Megan didn't understand how people drank coffee. It tasted like burnt tar to her. I'll have a medium caramel frappuccino, Erin said to the barista. That'll be $4.55, the barista replied. Erin handed over the money and moved out of the way so Megan could order. I'll have a small pink drink. The barista rolled her eyes and said, that'll be $3.25. Erin and Megan grabbed their drinks and sat down at a table near a big window. Megan sipped her pink drink and was grateful that it didn't taste like coffee. I don't know how to say this, Megan, Erin said quietly. Say what? Well, I saw TJ talking to Molly at her locker today. The pink drink fell out of Megan's hand and hit the floor. The pink liquid, ice, and strawberries made a massive puddle beneath Megan's feet and chair. An audible sigh was heard from the barista behind the counter. She walked over to the table with a towel and cleaned up the mess as Megan's face reddened. I'm sorry, Megan stuttered. The barista just rolled her eyes and walked away. What do you mean? Megan finally asked Erin. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but it totally looked like TJ was into her. He even walked her to science. He never walks you to science, or any class for that matter. Megan couldn't hear anything over her own heartbeat, which was now so loud she heard it inside of her eardrums. The tears came slowly, and then all of a sudden, Megan's whole face was wet from the water that seeped out of her eyes and nose. It was at that moment that Megan knew her relationship with TJ was over. Her shoes were sticky from the pink drink as she left the Starbucks. Okay, so yes, my scene is a little bit longer than yours has to be. It doesn't have to be this long. What I'm really looking for in this scene is a couple of things. Number one, do I know where your scene is taking place? So this first line, when Megan opened the door of the Starbucks. Okay, that's where we are. We are at the Starbucks. Are there other people there? Yes. I'll have a medium caramel frappuccino, Aaron said to the barista. So now I know it's Megan, Aaron, and the barista at the Starbucks. I'm also looking for you to have both details and dialogue. So details are all of these things that happen without quotes, where I'm just saying what's happening, right? Like the pink drink falling on the floor, the barista rolling her eyes. Those are all little details. But we also need dialogue. There has to be a conversation in your scene. All right, so when you're ready to type your first scene today, you're going to go back up to this planning document and you're going to say, okay, my scene takes place here. So in this location box, you're going to tell me where it takes place. So if I said the grocery store, okay, and the characters. So Megan, her mom, and her little sister, Stacy. Okay, then in this box, this is where you're going to actually type the scene. I wanted to show you guys that tab key that I used to make the dialogue go in. That button looks like this, right up here. Okay, so I started this scene. The grocery store was not a place Megan wanted to be today. She wanted to be at the mall with her friends. What I want to do now is I want to put some dialogue, so I'm going to hit the enter key so that I move down to this line. Okay, so now I'm down here, and I'm going to write that dialogue. Why do I have to be here? Megan whined to her mother. Because I need your help and input with what we should have for dinner this week. Her mom replied, I would rather not eat than be here at this grocery store with you, Mom. Megan scoffed back. Okay, so now I have these chunks of dialogue. Each of these dialogues needs to be tabbed over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor right in front, and then I'm going to hit this tab key up here like we talked about, and that's going to move it over. And I'm going to do the start of each of these over. Okay. Now you see that my cursor is here, but I'm going to start writing some more details. So I need to be over here. So now I'm going to use the opposite button, which is like the untab button, to get back over here. Okay. Megan and her mom continued to walk around the store in awkward silence fell between them. Okay. So while you're typing, details go on the far left, okay? And to go to that far left, we're going to use this untab key. And dialogue, which is when people are talking, gets tabbed to the right, so we're going to use this tab button. I know this is confusing. I know it's hard. Try your best. The formatting of this is not in the grading rubric, so you're not getting points for how you format it. You're getting points for things like, did you include details and dialogue? Are your scenes believable? Did you use transition words? You're getting points for things like that. You're not getting points for the formatting, but I do want you to practice, because when we start actually typing our stories, this is how we have to format it, okay? So for today, this is what you need to get done. you need to get this planning done, so all of these boxes, and then your first scene, just your first one. We're going to type the other two tomorrow, and then we're going to turn this in. If you have any questions, please send me an email or send me a message on Schoology. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.